All right. We are still doing repressed messages. Messages that may have wanted to come out earlier that for some reason were stopped or not. Great. The Empress upside down. That maybe we're blocked. Okay, so we have the Devil upside down, so maybe not a big deal. Let's see what's up. Whoa, that's interesting. This just happened in another reading I just recorded, but it flipped out like this, and then it turned upside down and landed on the table like that. If you've been watching my channel lately, you know what that means. And then we have this Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, so already the cards a little bit look like they don't go together. All right, let's see how many cards just came out. Oh, wow. Okay, so these are on the floor, these were upright, she was on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the Empress. I think I'll move these down a little bit. I guess it gets you to see everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Sun upright. Can we see the sun? Here comes the sun. Yeah, it's gonna have to be okay. All right. Oh, we have more cards. So then we have the Ten of Wands upright. We're going to go ahead and put that under the Empress upside down. Oh, crap. We got Temperance underneath the Devil in reverse. This Devil in reverse, when I first saw him, I was like, I don't see a problem with him right now, but I'm starting to see a problem with him. And then we have Justice in reverse underneath the Death card. We have the Six of Swords in reverse underneath the Nine of Swords. And then we have this Ace of Wands underneath the Empress. Uh-oh. We got this Wheel of Fortune underneath this Two of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Cups under the Sun. You know, it's weird. I've been trying to get away from like what I would consider to be like love readings. I mean, not 100% trying to get away from them, but oh, are these all from the same deck? No. Got it. Okay. A lot of them are. So, you know, not really pulling for love. I truth be told, created a channel for that. And so these I've been trying to keep about like us, like you. And it keeps introducing love into the situation, and it keeps introducing like bad relationships and breakups into the situation, which I get, because this channel has always been about that. We've always talked about boundaries. We've always talked about things like that. We haven't necessarily talked about repairing relationships or getting out of them, you know, just to kind of get out of them, I guess, because a lot of times when we are talking about getting out of them, there's this other person that is there, or this other person is showing up. I think maybe part of it is, to a certain extent, if you're on this channel, like you've probably done at least a little healing. And a lot of times when you're getting out of your free, you know, people see that, especially if there's people watching you and like waiting for you to be free. You know, they will step forward, step in at that time, especially if you start like dating somebody else and they see like you're falling, you know, they might go in and go, yeah, wait, you know, before you make a decision, you know, this passion for this Empress here, right? But then I also see the situation that we're supposed to leave for that, and it's like, again, like I didn't really that wasn't really, I was gonna say what I wanted to pull cards on, but not really what I meant. It's just more of like I want to say, obviously I want to say it's like the same thing as what we've been talking about. But sometimes that's why readers like can readings, because they're like, this is the same energy, the same crap, you know? And then, you know, everybody's situation is different. If you're identifying with a general reading, a lot of times too, there are that many situations and you just kind of have to say it over and over again. It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing zodiac readings. I don't want to keep saying it over and over again. I don't want to tell Cancer the same thing I told Capricorn. You know what I mean? Nobody's got this kind of time. Like, really the way I watch tarot readings is if they pop up in my feed and that title makes sense to me, I will watch it. Chances are that placement is in my you know, zodiac wheel, and it might even be in a prominent, you know, position if I know my you know, where my birth chart. So, you know, sometimes I'll watch, you know, a Cancer video, but Cancer is really like my south node, you know. So we're not gonna can this reading. We're gonna keep going because there's something that's telling me, and it's not within me. It's almost like one of my guides or something is telling me, no. There's something in this they need to hear. We're gonna keep going. Which again, under the repressed memories, under repressed, this might be something you already know. But under the repressed messages, you know, yeah, it might be something that you heard, but you need to hear again. So, yeah, I guess let's get it started. I think because those other cards came out so fast, I'm going to focus on getting this last row out, and then we'll just look at it. 3 of Wands, 5 of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. So 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I took that, I think, for the 7 one time, or the 7 for the 6. I wanted to make sure. And then now we have Death upright. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's weird. It looks the same. Obviously, it's not the same, and it's upside down, but it just looks weird. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. I think that this is one of the situations where the thing needs to be delivered, but it needs to be delivered. I'm doing something different over here too, so my brain's doing two things. Okay, but it's possible that might be the same message, but it needs to be delivered in a different way. All right. Wow, it's interesting because it's just reminding me of something that we have to do at work sometimes. Sometimes we have to remind people of the obvious. I don't want to give a specific right now, but it's not anything bad. But it's just it's very natural, and you would and if I kind of described it to you, you would know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to find a simple like another example that I can tell to. All right, yeah, okay. So let me use this as an example. Okay. So let's say I go out with my friends, right? And I'm sorry, this is story time. I might put like some timelines in there so you can skip this if you want, but this is kind of relevant to what we're talking about right now. So let's say I go out with my friends, right? And we want to go to a bar. So let's say there's like 5 of us, okay? So we go to the bar. And then let's say that the bar is dead, or the bar ends up being dead, or we just don't like the bartender, whatever's going on, right? So then somebody says, well, hey, I just saw a bar like two doors down. Let's go to that bar, right? So then we go to that bar, right? And then, we have a drink or whatever, and we're like, you know what, we don't really like the crowd at this bar, and somebody else is like, oh my God, my GPS says that there's a bar on the corner. Let's go over there, right? So we walk over to the corner, right? And then, we're standing out in front of it. We go, I don't know if I want to go in there. Looks like a bunch of bikers. Just kidding. If you know me, it's a joke. I mean, if you know me, you know what the joke is. But you go down the street, right? You go around the corner, down the street, right? And then you see another bar on the other corner over there, and across and down the street, right? And it's just lit up, and you can hear music, and you go, that's our bar, right? So you go all the way down there, right? And you just have one drink, you're just talking, you're like, yeah, this is fun, we don't need a drink, we're not going to have a lot of drinks, we can drive or whatever, and I'm not adding that as part of the story to be, so people don't get upset, like, this is part of the story. So then we're ready to leave. And you're at, oh yeah, I brought you here. You want to ride home? Yeah, okay, let's go out there and get our cars and get home. But your car's over there. Your car's at the first bar, and it's like 3 blocks away. And if someone would have said in the beginning, hey man, we could go to the bar next door, but we have to walk back to our cars, right? Then maybe they would have not known, like when they hit that 5th bar, like when it was way down the street, that they were going to have to come back to their cars, right? This is what I'm talking about pointing out the obvious. You know where you left your car, and you know where you ended up. But somebody probably should have told you that you would have had to walk back to your car. You have to get back to your car. It's not where you are, right? So again, like I said, obvious, not a big deal, but sometimes people need to be reminded that. So 10 minutes into this video, That explanation is pretty much telling you there's a possibility that you've been told this before and you need to be told again. Maybe Spirit thinks that you need to hear it again, or whatever's going on here, the universe. So here we are. We have this Empress upside down. We're not going to take too long to go through this either, because you already know this. We have this Empress upside down. Who's creating burdens for us? This is someone we want to leave, but we haven't said anything. And then we have this Six of Cups. So this person might be a soulmate. If they're a soulmate, they might be a karmic. If they're not a soulmate or a karmic and they're just a person, or maybe they're just a regular soulmate or whatever, then I think this card is saying that the person that they want to move towards is also a soulmate. So soulmate energy, which kind of means sometimes that when we're getting the notion that we need to do something and we don't move, it doesn't go away. That's a lot of times why we need Temperance, which is right here underneath this Devil in Reverse card, right? Devil in Reverse is, let me just look at him because he's been super weird. Okay, so he's got this thing over his eyes. I feel like lately he's been like trying to hide, but he's not hiding. And it's like he's standing in these flames. So he's like lit up, maybe, you know, maybe to a certain extent shrouded. His eyes are shrouded. But I feel like even though he's hiding, he's out there in the open, right? See, even the energy now with him being in reverse, like I couldn't remember if he was upright or reverse. So he's just presenting like the devil, right? And then we have this Temperance, and then we have this Three of Wands upside down, right? And I feel like to a certain extent, like that Three of Wands upright is waiting. And to a certain extent, I feel like maybe we're not waiting, but we have this like Justice and this Death card upside down with this card upside down. And so I kind of feel like it's weird. It's okay. So what am I thinking about? Like magnets? Like when one thing is flipped over and then you flip the other thing over, sometimes it flips the thing over. Yeah, I feel like it's magnets. I don't know, that's all I'm getting. And so I feel like this Death card in reverse and this Justice card in reverse is causing this to be a conflict. There's a conflict. It might be an internal conflict. Usually when it is, I see an Eight of Swords. I don't see an Eight of Swords. I see the Nine of Swords in reverse. It's almost like someone is going through like upright, it would be like waking up in a nightmare and still being in a nightmare, but upside down, I think we are actually still in that nightmare, and that is causing us, we're actually doing extra work to kind of go in the wrong direction with our swords. The conflict. We don't even need to have it. We might be like, it could be that we want to approach someone. That person isn't on the table on this side, but then these cards told me straight up, the Empress upright and the Ace of Wands upright with this Death card, that if that person doesn't move to whatever person that they want to move towards, that opportunity will disappear. So the interesting thing about it is this Death card over here always lately has been saying, like I said, if you've been on this channel, you know that Death card means that it's not going to end for you if you don't end this conflict in a way that is, you know, I was going to say righteous, but I guess I meant like definite, you know, if you don't terminate this relationship, that you could get stuck in this hell forever. Like it's not going to be ended for you. You could get stuck in this hell. But then this row is also saying, and your opportunity for happiness will disappear. You already know that, because if you're stuck in hell, you're not having this. But for some reason, this reading wants to point out the fact that you're losing this. You don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose this either, but you don't want to lose this, and you will lose this. your passion for the relationship, your passion for your relationship, your passion for yourself and your own happiness, because you're giving up the opportunity to approach someone who could make you happy. You decided, and then that person was set free by the universe so that they could go be happy. This wheel of fortune is going to keep turning, whether or not you want to talk about, I'm stepping forward, I'm not stepping forward, I'm juggling, I'm not juggling. This isn't even juggling, this is not moving. That's weird. Because I'm sure I saw it, but this one's upright. This one's upside down. Again, I don't even remember in my head if it was upright. I'm pretty sure I set it up the way it was, but I didn't even register this Ace of Wands here right now with that Two of Pentacles that's in reverse with our Wheel of Fortune. That when that wheel turns from this death, you will lose this. And your opportunity to move towards the sun. Yes, this moving towards the sun thing, you're never going to forget about it. To me, this is knowing your value and communicating that to another. This is quit screwing around and watching them. So those were the two that popped up that were extra, that were like flipped so I could see what cards they were. Now there's a bunch of cards that I don't even know what they are that we're going to flip over and look at. So again, Nine of Swords in reverse. Affirmed. That's going to be yours forever. Knight of Cups, upside down. Knight of Cups. Opportunity taken away. No longer available for the sun. This looks like, literally looks like him crossing the river Styx to me. It's like upside down, meaning again, you're not going to get through this. You're not going to get off light. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. And the thing is normally this would be the heartbreak and like this would be the healing of it, but you will always be healing because you will always be going through something. You are now. That conflict card over there, that was upside down. With that devil, that's upside down. In that like waiting energy. Whoa. Okay, so this popped up and then this one went on the floor. Conflict. This is a big deal to you. It may not even seem like it, like that burn, that power, that fire that you might, I'm going to take this as you right now. That power, that fire. Wow. That fire that you might have for someone that is burning for you right now, when that goes out, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. If you keep hanging on to this situation. This card didn't even want to come out of my hand. Yes. Well, the other thing is you should appreciate what you have because it'll help you create what you want. I always say that even though there's a lot of things in relationships that we want to leave behind when we go, there's a lot of things that we do want to take with us that aren't toxic. We want to have that in the next relationship. It's part of the reason why we held on to the last relationship, because we feel like we're not going to have it. And we want it so we feel like we can bring it, kind of a thing. And you can. You can bring the good things if you want. You can bring this with you, but you have to move. You can't stay in the other thing. You're not, this wand isn't going to light up again if you stay in the other thing. It's done. That's the death card over there too. It's done. It's done and not done. And this is kind of like what I'm talking about. Like people, when we say things, we use loose terms. Done meaning it's never going to progress. It's never going to elevate. It's never... Impossible things. This is what I'm talking about. So let's see what this card actually says. Working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, fresh perspective. So this is a lot of times walking away from the impossible things. Sometimes the disbelief is like, and right now I'm picking it up as like we see something, but we don't like really know what we're looking at. This impossible, where is it? In imaginative, oh my God, imaginative leaps. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it doesn't, I have to go through great difficulty to deliver these messages, and we're going to keep doing this. So, this imaginative leaps to me is when we're looking at the future and we have this wand lit, right? But like I said, because we're in impossible things that will not, they're not going to end, but they're not going to progress. They're going to stay right there. So that's what I mean by it's going to end, but not end. You will not have an opportunity to make it better. You will not have an opportunity to elevate, because the upside down the upside down Empress will not let you. Yeah. It's not like you're going to fall back in love with this person. There's going to be no different action. It's another thing that it's trying to say. It's another thing that it's trying to say. This is almost at prizes. This is like the booby prize. This is kind of like, even if you stayed in it and you were like, well, I have a wife, I have this, I have that, I have that. It's like your prize isn't like for anybody. It's something you give when you don't have anything else to give. Like, it's kind of white elephant prize, some people call it. When you're like doing Secret Santa or whatever you're doing, you're pulling prizes and you don't know what's what. You're opening it. There's a white elephant gift. Sometimes I tell you, this is a white elephant gift. This gift isn't even a real gift. It's a joke. That's what your relationship will be if you stay in that. Yeah, you got a consolation prize. It's almost like a nuisance fee from a freaking, insurance company. Sorry, I just pictured the nuisance fee and the Empress upside down. I want to get one more Alice card for you guys. I'm sorry. I kind of feel like you already know this. Oh, for God's sake. So, right when this card came out too, it was like, yeah, they already know, but on top of that, that's usually my empath card, my empath and or light worker card. Again, if you are an empath and you're in a situation like this, and you want to move towards your happiness, your birthright, and you're staying in something that is bad for you, it's going to mess you up. Unless you're totally detached from the situation, and then that's not really good either, because the provoked empath, the dark side of being an empath, that's not really cool to sit in a relationship with either. So the best way to protect yourself in those kinds of situations is to remove yourself from them. I'm not picking up anything specific about the upside down Empress, except for the fact that we're not happy. And guys, that's enough. You don't need a reason to end a relationship. I don't care if it's been 20 years. I know that sounds harsh. I know that sounds harsh to you, but you need to understand that sometimes when you're breaking up with someone, they may have been your true love, but they're your karmic. And karmics don't want to let go. And karmics want to do this. And karmics want to do that. And sure, you can face that with tough love, or you can fight fire with fire. But the ultimate thing is that you need to end it. End of story. And they're going to do stuff, right? And the dynamics of this are crazy. Is this your karmic or is this your partner's karmic? And then you get into all kinds of other things. And as an empath, you're going to deal with narcissists, and you're going to deal with people who are going to try to make your life miserable on purpose. And there is no need to delay the breakup of that. There is no need to endure that in any situation for any reason. I don't care what the situation is. Well, I can't leave him because his mom died. He really can't handle it. Really? Well, you better sit down and write a list of the shit that you can handle. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be destroyed if you're trying to carry somebody else who's not even managing themselves. Meanwhile, you're suffering because you're sensitive and you're not taking care of yourself. And that is what this is talking about. And you want to sit in that for the rest of your life, and you don't want to move towards the things that you want to move. You are being given that opportunity. Could it take 20 years? Sure. But again, do you need that suffering? This is what we're talking about. You need to keep that in mind. Until next time.